It's time to get your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
Boom! Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me. As always, coming to you from ESPN 97.5-925. Hey, man, I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame. As always, getting your champagne wishes, caviar dreams. It's a rough day, man. It's been a rough day for me. It's been a real rough day. We lost Sid Vicious. How you feel, Brad, before we even get started? How you feel, man?
You know what I mean? I'm feeling okay, but obviously whenever we lose a member of the fraternity, especially somebody who I grew up watching, it's always a somber day.
Yeah, man. Sid actually was the dude that got me and my brother our break. Phone call came to the Global Wrestling Federation, the Sportatorium, and pretty much the rest is history. Sid Vicious brought me and my brother in. He said, "Hey, man, I'm going to get you guys in. I'm going to get you in." Probably about 6 months later, me and my brother was in WCW, not just in WCW. We were staying at Sid Vicious's apartment. The Park Apartments, right there in Marietta, Georgia. And he didn't have to do that. I mean, Sid didn't have to do that. I mean, but he went out on a limb just for me and my brother to actually give us a springboard right off the bat. First pay-per-view, I was in the main event with Sid Vicious. Right here in Houston, Texas, all because of Sid, man. Sid made sure, man, my brother got that spot. 2 rookies, man, 2 greenhorns, in the main event. In a pay-per-view that was being debuted. Dusty Rhodes, I came out of the mind of Dusty Rhodes. And, man, what a time, man. What a time. I've been thinking about that all day today, man. Ever since I heard it, I got a phone call, actually, and got the news, and all day I've been just going back in time and going back to the early 90s, man. It was such a freaking ride. Sid Vicious is the one that kicked that ride off, man. I'm just glad I got a chance to see Sid, I don't know, maybe 6 months to a year ago. And I'm just glad I got a chance to tell Sid Vicious, thank you. I swear to God. That's what I told Sid, man. I give him all the praise for getting me and my brother in and doing what he did for us, man. I told him I just wanted to thank him for everything. If he personally in his face, to his face, I wanted to thank him for everything that he did for me and my brother. I'm just glad I got a chance to do that. I'm just so glad I got a chance to do that. I'm serious.
Yeah. You got a chance to give him his flowers. And you know what? His flowers are well-deserved also from the wrestling fans and I'm sure the other wrestling community. Let me ask you this. Did you know Sid prior to the phone call? Did you have any interaction with him, any relationship with him? Did he see y'all at the GWF or something like that?
Nah, man. I didn't know Sid or anything like that. But what's crazy was when Sid said he was going to get us in, he wanted to come down to the Global Wrestling Federation and test us out. And so he came down, he brought a partner with him to have a tag match with me and my brother. And the guy that he brought down with him, he wasn't a worker, he was just a buddy of his. But I guess he was letting his buddy live out his dream, being a professional wrestler for one
Listen,
night.
I got to go to Texas to look at these 2 guys. You can come with me. I'll get you on the card.
Yeah, it was one of those deals, man. And we got out and we worked with Sid. And,
how was his partner?
He wasn't that bad, but he wasn't that good.
I wouldn't assume so.
We didn't care. We was in the ring with Sid, man. Sid set it up for us, and just going back thinking about that kind of stuff, it's just kind of crazy, man. Sid was one of a kind. He was one of a kind dude. Very, very misunderstood. Very, very misunderstood. But Sid was all about the showmanship. He was always about the business as far as he wanted to be the top guy. Sid wanted to be the main guy, and he wanted to focus on him all the time because he was the ruler of the world. That used to get me all the time when Sid used to say he was the ruler of the world. And he really felt that way at certain times. Seriously, man. He was one of a kind dude.
Um, Let me ask you this: was Sid as big in person as he looked like on television? Because he looked massive.
Sid was a monster, man. He really was. He was a monster. He was a guy that looked prehistoric inside. I'm serious.
I get you.
Man.
I get what you mean by
I'm
that.
serious. His shoulders, man, was so big. His traps was like massive, and then he had that big head to go along. Long legs. You know, he just was a giant, man. He was a true giant. Yeah.
And curly bleach blonde hair,
Yeah.
was always stood out to me. Psycho Sid, Sid Vicious, Sid Justice, had a lot of monikers. 4-time world champion, twice in WCW, 2 times in WWF, main evented a WrestleMania with The Undertaker, which not many people can say in this life. He's got a legacy that we've talked about recently. I feel like a few months ago, we were like, man, Sid needs to go in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
We had that conversation, and to me, he still deserves to go in the Hall of Fame. I wish he could have been here to see his induction.
Yeah.
But without a doubt, one of the most enigmatic wrestlers. When you think about there are some like legendary Sid promos. If you just go watch Psycho Sid promo,
Right.
type it into our Sid Vicious promos. If you go watch some of this stuff, he was so funny. But at times, and I mean this seriously, I remember seeing a Psycho Sid promo. It must have been on a WWF Superstars or one of those kind of shows, right? And he cut this promo, and I remember being afraid. Like, I remember being afraid of him. And it was on a VHS, no less. So, like, I knew he couldn't, like, come out of the VCR, or this was pre-tape. But I remember being afraid of him, and he had such intensity. And the other classic Sid moment is more of a funny one. It's the one with JR. I think they're about to do a live hit, and JR's interviewing him in the back, and Sid, they come to the camera, and Sid goes, "All right, let me know when we're on." And then JR goes, "You're live, pal."
No, the most iconic moment with myself and Sid, my brother, would be with the Shockmaster. You know, when the Shockmaster blew up on the stage and whatnot, and Sid goes, "I told you, I told you." Oh man, it seemed like man, I've been in so many places, but Sid definitely was the guy that springboard, my brother and my career to the next level, put us in great position right off the bat. And the thing is, I still don't even really know why Sid did that for us. It's always you always wonder, what would have been my brother and I, what would have been our route if it wasn't for Sid Vicious.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. It's hard to look at the butterfly effect, right? And
Yeah.
if Sid didn't make that call, and okay, and did you know how he got y'all's name? Did he see a tape or something? Saw y'all on ESPN or
Yeah, he saw us on ESPN. Yeah.
okay?
Yeah. He pretty much discovered us. Pretty much. I think Sid at that time it was. I don't know. I think he was trying to get into the office, and we were his first projects to see if he had the eye for scouting talent, and I think we did see it pretty good.
I would say that's a pretty good first swing at it.
Yeah. I don't know if he had any, projects after my brother and I, but I think we did them pretty good as far as going out there and representing. Like I say, in our first pay-per-view in the main event with Sid Vicious, and Vader, and be like, wow, man, how the hell did this happen? It was unbelievable. It was unimaginable. It was like living in a fairy tale dream, for something like that, for two greenhorns to find themselves in the main event, and a huge match like War Games. It was unbelievable for me, for a young guy like myself, because I was like 27 years old, 28. I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Right. To just get that monster push immediately,
Right,
getting into the company,
right off the bat. Yeah.
And I remember too, and I know we got to go to break soon, but it was the Raw. I think they were leading up to the Raw 1000th episode. And Heath Slater was doing a gimmick where he was kind of calling out old legends of the past. And I remember he and Sid Vicious, Psycho Sid, worked a match on Monday Night Raw back in 2000, must have been 11 or 12.
Wow.
And I just remember going, man, that is such an awesome moment. And Sid got a huge pop, big pop when Sid came out, man.
It was always over, man. Always a big star, man. Godspeed, man. Condolences to the family. And prayers up. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Booker T here, and I'm so excited to share something that really has been a game changer lately for me, man. That's Fire. That's right, Fire. Summer might be winding down, but football season is just around the corner. But you don't have to let those summer vibes fade away. Fire has got you covered with the best hemp and cannabis product legally shipped right to your door in all 50 states. As an athlete, recovery is key, and Fire Relief Line is a perfect post-gym relaxation and eases those aches and pains. For years, for me, inside the square circle, they get the organic flower. Is top-notch, baby. Grown without harsh pesticides or chemicals, plus their award-winning THC and THC-free gummies. Premium indoor THCA flower, oh yes, and the soothing topical and calming drops are all made from the highest quality hemp source from the trusted American Farms, man. Oh, yes. Hey, man, I've personally been using Fire for a while now, and let me tell you, it has made a huge difference, whether it's the calming drops that help me unwind or the premium flower, man, that just hits the spot. Fire has something for everyone. Trusted by professional athletes and loved by over 500,000 customers. It's a brand that you need to check out. So if you're 21 or over, go to the link in our description and use the code, man, Booker, to get 15% off your order. That's right, 15% off. And remember to tell them Booker T sent you when you check out. Hey, support the show. I'm talking about the Hall of Fame, man. And take your recovery and relaxation to the next level with Fire. Check it out right now. Oh, yes. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. Yeah. We just keep moving, man. We just keep moving, but it's been a hard last couple of weeks, with Kevin Sullivan and now Sid. It's been a hard couple of weeks, man. I see my mortality, slipping every day. Every time I see one of my soldiers, my partners, one of my friends go down, man, it's rough. It's rough. It gets tougher and tougher every time we go through this, So I know one day they're gonna be talking about me, but I'm gonna just keep kicking until that time come. That's all I could do.
Well, first of all, Naaman James lived to 103. Was it 103 years old?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he did.
The granddad of Booker T, for those who don't know. So that's what I'm hoping for. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm praying. I'm praying.
120. Make it 120. I think the oldest person in the world right now who was born the same year as the Titanic, they turned 113 today, I believe it was.
Oh.
So it's possible.
Oh,
it's possible.
It's possible, man. It's possible. It's just one of those things, Joe. You just never know.
You don't.
You just never know, man. What's around the corner. You just got to keep rolling. You just got to keep fighting. You can't quit. That's the last thing you can do is quit. You just got to keep fighting. And that's what I'm gonna do. I think that I was put here on this earth to inspire, and to the end, I'm gonna just keep doing what I do. Especially because I got kids. I got kids, and I always want to see my kids. I always want my kids to see me, a man of strength, a man of character, Um, I need my son to be able to make sure he take care of his wife just like I take care of mine. I need him to be able to take care of his kids and just like I take care of mine and be, I always wondered, what it feel like, you hear him say, man, I take a bullet, for mine. And that's true, man. It's true. So for me, it ain't about me. It's just about family, love, and not stepping on nobody along the way. Hopefully we could bring people up and bring people along the ride along the way more than anything. And that's what I hope more than anything. Right now we're living in a very, very turbulent time, and we've been seeing just to quote a phrase, a whole lot of joy lately. And I think that's what this world needs more than anything, because we are here for a very, very short time on this earth when you really, really look at it in context.
Absolutely.
So for me, I'd rather be making some smiles on faces more than anything um, during my time here. But you're in the Hall of Fame, man. You're in the Hall of Fame. Again, all the super chatters, we're going to get to you guys shortly.
Yes, absolutely, man. And again, these days are always sad, but also it would allow us a little bit a moment to reflect on the legacy, of someone like a Psycho Sid or somebody like a Kevin Sullivan, Alpha and Sika. It
Yeah.
was, I think, a year ago yesterday, the day before, that we lost Bray. And it always seems like it happens like right before or while we're doing a show. Doesn't it seem like that? It's
Yeah,
really
it
weird.
does. Yes. Crazy, man. I was just
Very
thinking about
odd.
it. Yeah.
Very odd. But anyway, I encourage everybody to share their favorites Sid Vicious moments in the super chats, and we'll definitely go through them if you have a favorite Sid match or a Sid moment. Because again, he was real smart. And I don't know if he did it intentionally, but he would kind of be in and out of the WWF and WCW kind of at the same times, right? He'd come in for a little like 2-year run in WWF and then boom, back in WCW, then back in WWF and back in WCW. And he always found himself on top. Like he wasn't working like in the middle of the card. Like
Hmm.
Sid was always involved with something
You
special.
know, I think it was because of when you look at Sid, you just look at his look. He can't
Yeah.
play. He can only play one role. That's in the main event. You can't put Sid in the
True.
mid card, undercard. He was a main event guy only, and it wasn't his work or anything like that. It was his appeal, his star power. You looked at this guy, you go, "Wow!" That's the first thing you say when you see somebody like Sid Vicious. You go, "Wow, man, look at this guy," because he was that impressive. You're not going to find too many guys that was more impressive than Sid Vicious at that time. Not too many.
Man, yeah, absolutely. Just from a physical specimen uh look, right? Because to me, when you look at the era where he was coming up, I mean, he had a physique and a look and a size that rivaled Hogan, rivaled even guys similar size like Kevin Nash, Taker,
Yeah.
Ultimate Warrior.
Oh yeah.
Anybody who was working in that top position, he matched up with from a size perspective. And look, we talk about the airport test.
Oh yeah.
There's no doubt that guy's walking through an airport, and
Yeah.
like some people are running up to him, and most people are running away from him. You know what I mean? He was
But
just a
one thing
terrifying.
about Sid, he never played to his look outside of his character in the
Really?
ring. Yeah. When you saw Sid Vicious, he looked like a hillbilly or something. He looked like a guy. No, I'm serious. He had just some jeans on and a shirt with a collar on it, not a t-shirt showing his muscles or anything like that. He wasn't that type of guy at all. He was so, um, you know, I don't even what word would I use? Dormant,
Mhm.
outside of the Sid Vicious character.
Yeah, that's funny
Yeah.
because what's weird is, you would think a guy that size would want to show it off a little bit more, especially back then. And that's kind of what the boys did just a little bit. I mean, I even see it at reality wrestling. Some of the guys walking through with like an extra small on so they can
Yeah.
look a little bit bigger than they really are. You know what I mean? The old tricks of the trade. But Sid was like a legit, he's probably what legit, no, I mean, north of 275, 280, 300,
He was
probably.
he, in his prime, Sid was probably 6'8", 300, probably a little over 300 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
And-
just
and-
crazy.
oh, he was a monster. At that when we stayed with him at his apartment in Marietta, Georgia, he was huge, man. He was a monster. It was like I say, too many. Maybe not the barbarian, the warlord was
Warlord's a big
probably
guy.
the only guy that stacked up, side by side with somebody like Sid Vicious.
Yeah. Yeah. Now let me ask you this real quick on Sid living with him. Like, how long were y'all there again? A couple months or what?
Like 2-3 months.
2-3 months. How was he as a roommate?
He was cool. He was relaxed. Let's just say that. He had some fire working for him. He would be real calm. But without, he was like, manic. The relationship staying at the apartment, it came to a head finally. We was like, bro, we gotta get up out of here. Just we've been here long enough. You know what I'm saying?
We've overstayed our welcome here.
We've overstayed our welcome. So for my brother and I, we got a little room, little something, little weekly something on the other side of town. But nah, man, it was good while it lasted. But me personally, I ain't down with that roommates and stuff like that. Anyway, I can only last in that environment for only so long, and so for me, I only looked at it like a springboard. So I was looking for a way out of Sid Vicious's apartment. I appreciated everything that he did for me, but I didn't want to be under somebody's wing like that. Come on, after a while, the honeymoon is gonna wear off, right?
Yeah.
So
well, they say what do they say? House guests are like fish. It starts to stink after 3 days. Right?
Exactly. So for me, I was looking to get out of that situation because I didn't want to wear out my welcome.
And you don't want heat with the guy who brought you in.
No, you definitely don't want that. So for me, I was looking for a way to get up out of there before a fight happened. And we start, arguing or something like that, or some animosity came because Sid was involved with not just the push, but the pay rate. The bumps in the money. So we were getting bumps. And we came in at this much, and then no more than 2-3 months later we got a bump, and then 2-3 months later we got another bump. So I was like, I need to hang around the bump before anything happened. So let me get up out of here, man.
Hilarious. Oh man. And then you were in Atlanta how long?
I lived in Atlanta for 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
And that was enough, right? As soon as you could figure out coming back to Houston, you figured that one out.
No, the thing is, every girl that I met worked at Magic City.
Well, let's just say you had a particular type. Let's just say that.
No.
Where would you run into these girls?
Everywhere.
I wonder where where you ran into them.
I'm serious. On the street, in the club.
Yeah, what club was that? You ran into them where they worked. What are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about Rupert's. I'm talking about Rupert's. You know what I'm saying? In Buckhead. That's what I'm talking about. You can meet them at Buc-ee's, Quick Trip. I don't care what it was. That's what they working at.
You ain't got to lie, Craig.
Tell the truth. At the pool, anywhere, man. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Hey everyone, it's Brad Gilmore from the Hall of Fame here with the one and only Booker T, the 5-time WCW champion, and we're excited to talk to you about something that's been a game changer for the both of us. That's HelloFresh.
That's right, Brad. HelloFresh makes home cooking easy, fun, and affordable with farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. You can skip those tiring trips to the grocery store and dive straight into cooking delicioso meals, man.
Absolutely, Book. HelloFresh offers over 50 recipes and a ton of market items to choose from every single week. You can say goodbye to meal planning woes and hello to convenience. I've been loving their quick and easy recipes. They're ready in 20 minutes or less, which means I can spend less time in the kitchen and more time enjoying that Texas summer sunshine.
And let me tell you, the fit and wholesome recipes are perfect for keeping you feeling great all summer long. They're balanced breakfast pack with fresh produce and under 650 calories per serving. Plus, HelloFresh kids-friendly recipes are picky eater proof. My kids love them.
And here's the best part, BT. If you go to HelloFresh.com/freebooker, that's HelloFresh.com/freebooker right now, you can get one free breakfast item for life, forever, the entire time you're alive. That is HelloFresh.com/freebooker.
America's #1 meal kit. Baby, trust me, you won't regret it. HelloFresh takes the hassle out of meal planning, shopping, and most of the prep. You just choose your meals, select a delivery date, and get cooking, man.
So what are you waiting for? Go to HelloFresh.com/freebooker. That's HelloFresh.com/freebooker for free breakfast for life. HelloFresh.com/freebooker.
Boom, welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. The waffle, man. The waffle. You had that waffle.
I've had the waffle, yes.
That waffle. Oh, man.
Wait. Are you talking about the waffle at Magic City or the one from HelloFresh?
HelloFresh.
Oh, okay. Well, I had that waffle.
No, man,
I had the HelloFresh waffle.
Now, look here, bro. I'm not hating on anybody working in the industry. You know what I mean? Baby got to eat too. Baby got to eat. Shake it real fast. Get a little mo. That's just part of the game. I get it. But nah, it was just one of those things. Every time I ran into a female in Atlanta, she worked at the club. Not just Magic City, but just the club in general.
But look, this is what I'm saying to you. I understand that. You're running into them in all random places, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But if they all work at the same spot.
No, look here. Let me tell you something.
Hold on.
No, go ahead.
I feel like that means at the time, this is what, 96, 95, 96, you were in Atlanta? What was that?
92. I'm sorry. 92, 93.
92. Okay, 92, 93, you were living in Atlanta. So that means 92, 93, Booker T. Huffman had a type.
No. Look here.
He had a type.
Look, I'm gonna tell you that's not it at all. That's not it at all. In Atlanta, I don't want to get no heat with the Atlanteans or anything like that.
Shout out to Atlanta, Georgia. We love it.
Shout out to ATL. I love Atlanta. Just Freaknik, man, it was off the chain. But
that's another story.
That's another story. But no, in Atlanta, a lot of the young ladies are groomed. That's their college. They already been scholarshiped. You know what I'm saying? It's time to go to work. You know, I swear, man, that was back in the 90s.
That's how they used to do it.
I don't know what it's like now, but
Yeah.
back in the 90s, you know, it was part of the curriculum.
Oh man, you remember what was his name? Sweet Lou Williams, who played on the Clippers. He was here at the Rockets for a while. Remember when he left the bubble to go, and I think it must have been the one in Florida, but he left the bubble to go get wings from Magic City.
Bro,
the pandemic.
They got the best wings in the city.
Bro, do you think he really left the bubble?
Wait,
Look, hold on. He's surrounded by nothing but men for all day and night for a month or however long it was.
Look here.
You think he left to get wings?
Look,
they had wings in the bubble.
Look, I get it. But at Magic City, they have the best wings in all of Atlanta, Georgia. Maybe the whole state. Okay. I'm serious. I was just listening to one of the congresswomen talk about it, you know, at the one of the rallies just last week. Said
talked about the Magic City wings.
Talked about Magic City hot wings. It's the best wings you can get in Atlanta, Georgia. I swear, I just listened to that last week, and I was like, wow. I mean, you know, I'm like, I knew the wings were good. You know what I mean? Especially with the extra, you know, the extra spicy ones. They're damn good. I know that from experience. But no, man, that's real.
The lemon pepper, right? The lemon pepper.
Lemon pepper ain't no joke.
That's
lemon pepper, right? Man. Lemon pepper ain't no joke. You know, I'm serious. You know, the Parmesan. Oh man, you lose your damn mind. I'm serious.
Oh man,
You gotta go check it out.
I got to get some lemon pepper wings.
You gotta go check it out.
Just to substantiate the claims made in this conversation, and by some congresswoman who
Yeah, I'm
shout out to
serious.
her as
It's
well.
just last week, man. Who was it? It might have been Keisha Lance's bottle.
Okay, I'll have to look.
Yeah.
I'll have to look this up.
She's from Atlanta, right?
I think so.
Yeah. I think that's exactly who it was.
Yeah. She's from Atlanta. Yeah, she's from
See
Atlanta.
that? See that? I think that's exactly who it was.
So, do you think Keisha Lance Bottoms is going to Magic City?
Look here, I'm sure she's been there and frequented the place at least once or twice. It's entertainment. It's entertainment. I mean, that's like going to Vegas. You ever seen Zoomanity?
I haven't, but I've heard about it.
You go to Vegas and you go to Zoomanity. It's nothing more than entertainment, but it's a really, 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 really good show. I've seen it a couple of times myself. I'm serious. You can get caught up, just like you can get caught up in Magic City, because you think that it's not a show, and next thing you know, you broke at the end of the night.
Yo, I mean, look, you're getting worked, bro.
Yeah,
You're getting worked, brother.
yeah. So you just better be on your P's.
Oh man, I did not think that this is how the conversation would have gone to from talking about your time living with Sid Vicious to every woman you ran into worked at Magic City. I still think that means you had a type.
No, that's not true at all. I mean, if that's true, I would have married one of them.
No, it's just that was a phase. You're going through your Magic City phase.
That wasn't it at all. Trust me. I found it odd myself. I'm serious. That's why I moved back to Houston.
You're like, I can't do this.
I was like,
all the women work at Magic City.
I say, well, I wouldn't say all of them, but just the ones that I met. The ones that I would meet, no matter where I was. I stayed in a nice little apartment complex, and
Oh, did they stay there too?
It was a few stayed in the apartment complex. Yeah. One of the girls I ran into that I knew. She was just a neighbor, but she worked at one of the clubs, and I was like, wow, man. And it just struck me. I was like, man, why do so many girls in Atlanta work at the club? It was just one of those. It's just one of those thoughts. Like, wow, this is kind of strange.
Yeah. What was her apartment number? Do you happen to remember?
I don't remember that. Look at, I wasn't involved with. I would tell you. I have no secrets or anything like that. I'm just telling it like it is, bro. Just telling like it's not like I was offended or anything like that. I was just like, wow, it just it seemed like a regular job.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it is. If that's your job, that's your job. Like, did you ever think that working like as a wrestler, like you started to look at it as a job, right? It wasn't a game. This was your profession, right?
Oh, no, but I didn't grow up, wanting to be a professional wrestler or anything like that.
I don't know if too many young ladies grow up with that.
I'm going to tell you right now, Magic City is that big to where I could see young ladies want to grow up to go work at Magic City. I'm not saying that's a bad thing or a good thing or indifferent, but I could see just like
I hear you.
I'm just speaking facts. I could see like Roxanne Perez at 10 years old wanted to be the reality wrestling champ one day just because it's something that she was drawn to. And Magic City is not just like a club, it's like a landmark.
It is. It is.
It really truly is. I mean, it's like an adventure. It's like when you come, I'm serious, like if you coming from out of town, the one place you got to go to, hey man, we got to go to Magic City. It's one of those, it's almost like a museum in a certain sense. I'm serious.
Well, it is, and the thing is, we're laughing, but you're not wrong in the sense of when you think of Atlanta. If someone says name something in Atlanta, you're gonna say Magic City. It's gonna be the first thing you think of.
Well, look at it this way right here. I've been in the wrestling business over 30 years. You just now turned over 30, and we've been talking about Magic City all this time, from way back then to now. And I'm sure Magic City was there before I got there. So Magic City is more than just a club. It really truly is for the Atlanteans.
Right. No, of course. It's like it's a pillar. It's a pillar. It's
Exactly.
like
So you can imagine, some young girls wanting to grow up to go work at Magic City.
perhaps,
That's not something that's far fetched.
Yeah, because it is a pillar. It's like if you were to come to Houston and you say, "Hey, what do I need to go to Houston?" It's like, "Oh, you got to go to Papados." That's like the
That's exactly what I
recommendation.
was just going to say. You got to go to Papados.
You got to go to Papados.
It's
So
been
in
here forever.
Atlanta,
It's been here
it's been
forever.
here forever. It's a
It's,
staple in
it's
the
our
community.
landmark. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that's what Magic City is more than anything. Uh, it's an adventure. You got to check it out.
Liger Style says we should have a Magic City and Reality of Wrestling show. I don't know how that would turn out, but
I tried to do something like that back in the day. It didn't work out too well.
wait a minute, what? wait, what? I don't know this story.
Yeah,
I do remember. Do you remember the Dancer Diaries?
yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's what you're okay. Okay, then I do know what you're talking about.
It didn't work out too well. Some of the girls,
complications.
some of the girls we had to interview, they was all out there, man. So Charmel shut that down real quick.
You know what? Probably a good idea.
This ain't gonna work. Stick around, guys. Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Speaking of that, here's this.
Can you dig it, sucker? And this episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about sex. Hey, you remember when you was always ready to go? I'm talking about strapping the rocket on it, man. Going straight to the moon. I'm talking about getting it done. If you want that extra confidence, I got something for you. Listen up. BlueChew.com. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, but in a chewable tablet at the fraction of the cost.
But the great thing, Book, is you can take it any time, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. The process is simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days.
The best part, guys, it's all done online on the internet. So there's no doctor's visit, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at a pharmacy or any of that.
And the thing is, Book, Blue Chew's tablets, they're made right here in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package, so no one is the wiser.
Let's just get it out there, guys. Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. It's like this. Chew it and do it. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew absolutely free when you use promo code Booker at your checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping, man. That's BlueChew.com. Use promo code Booker to receive your first month absolutely free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And, we want to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Hall of Fame podcast. Chew it and do it. Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. Want to thank everybody that came out for the breakout show on Sunday. Tatum Paxley versus Gigi Ray went out there and rocked it in the main event. Oh, man. I tell you what, Tatum Paxley definitely opened my eyes. She's definitely a worker. She's not somebody that's just coming out and playing the game. She's actually a performer and understanding the science and the psychology of the thing is huge. And for her to come down to Reality of Wrestling and jump inside the square circle with Gigi Ray and give Gigi the rub. And Gigi, I must say, she held her own. She's definitely top notch. She's definitely going to be getting up out of Reality of Wrestling soon and moving to the next level. So big pat on the back for Gigi Ray for going out there and representing Reality Wrestling, as well as Kel Dixon, NXT star, trying to move to the next level, came down and graced Reality of Wrestling with his presence, and he did a hell of a job as well. So big ups to Kel Dixon, and hopefully both of those guys will be coming back to Reality of Wrestling to do a whole lot more in the real near future. So thank everybody that came out to break out, all of the Reality Wrestling stars as well. Thank all you guys. Ryan Davidson, Soldier, man. Soldier could have been at home kicking his feet up, but he wants to come out, show up, and show out. against my boy, the Rocket, Josiah John. So, man, anytime you guys hear about the Breakout Show, come on out to Texas City, Texas, 9300 M.F. Lowry Expressway, the Walker, Texas Lawyer. Look for the LED, look for the beacon in the sky, man. Look for the beacon in the sky. You'll find your way. So come check us out.
Yeah, I had a great time last night watching the Breakout Show. You know, big shout out, as you pretty much mentioned a lot of the people. I also want to give a big shout out to Quentin and the Savage King, who had a hell of a match between one another at the Breakout Show as well. And you know what? It was fun. And we had, I don't know, a little north of 200 people there for a essentially non-televised event, you know, a house show, if you will, in some ways. And you know, people came out, pulled up. Got to give a big shout out to my boy Stocks, who's about to kick out his tour. He and his crew came through just to watch the Stars of Tomorrow at the Reality of Wrestling. So
cool.
it was a great time, man.
Yeah, that was real cool.
Yeah, it was a great time. I also want to give a big shout out to the YouTube channel In the Clutch, who came through Summer Champions, and they put a recap of their experience of reality wrestling on their YouTube channel. So I encourage everybody to go check that out as well. You know, I mean, we're growing. We're growing. We're almost outgrowing the Walker, Texas Lawyer Arena within a year. You know what I mean? We're having.
You know what? We might need to do one of them GoFundMe's so we can get a bigger building.
We might have to, or like, can we like commission the city to add additional space in some way to an existing structure?
Well, maybe we could tear a wall out. Maybe we can do that. You know,
a couple
maybe
things.
Knock that wall out where the gym is. You know, and we can figure eight things. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll
figure it out. You know what I mean? We got time. We got time to figure it out. But anyway, shout out. And then our next show, realitywrestling.com for the tickets. You have Reality Wrestling Gold Rush, September the 14th going on. You get to see all the new champions and defending champions from Summer Champions 10 in their first few title defenses.
Yeah. I got a call from the Bollywood boys. They say they want to be at that show, man. They say they want to take on the Island Boys for the Reality of Wrestling Tag Team Champions. And I said, you guys want to take on the Island Boys for the Tag Team Champions? They said, yes, man. So I say, look here, I'm going to make it work. We're going to make it happen. Island Boys versus the Bollywood Boys. Oh, yes, for the Tag Team Championship. How that sound?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds real good.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Reality Wrestling Gold Rush. Get your tickets now, man. We do have some super chatters coming in, but I guess before we grab them, there was also a couple things that went on over the weekend in regards to this. Oh, here we go. This is actually what we're about to talk about. So perfect for our super chat here.
Super chat.
Booker and Brad, overall feelings did y'all get out of watching All In? What did y'all get out of watching All In, which AEW's big show? There's another thing there, which we'll talk about in just a second. But yeah, AEW All In London went down over the weekend. This was their second time running this venue in a row. Last year, they drew, I think, north of 80,000. This time it was like 55,000 plus. A huge show, though, for AEW. Obviously.
Not bad at all.
Not bad at all. That's damn good. Yeah, and they had some big matches. You know, some of the ones that I think a lot of people were talking about was Mariah May defeated Toni Storm for that women's title. Mercedes Moné down Dr. Britt Baker. Will Ospreay is the new international champion. And of course, the big news is Bryan Danielson defeated Swerve Strickland for the AEW World Championship. Again, if Bryan was going to lose, if he lost this match, he was going to retire.
Yeah.
You know, he won and he celebrated with Brie Garcia, excuse me, and the family in the ring, the big family celebration. 10 years, by the way, after he had his WrestleMania 30 victory, in that main event in New Orleans, he finds himself in front of another sold-out house winning a world title in the main event.
You know, only thing I can say about Bryan Danielson, he's put the work in. He hasn't been the guy that's been sitting on the sideline, phoning it in or anything like that, just coming out just to play games. He's been a guy that seemed like he had some sort of a strategy since he's been there, and that is, let me go out there and work with a lot of these young guys, get them over. It's maybe my last shot at a world title run. Let me pick that up on the way out and continue to do the good work. He's one of the good guys that won in the end. That's what I say about Danielson. So for him to beat Strickland, I didn't see that happening so quick for Swerve. You know, after just I don't know. Has he had a year yet?
No, he hasn't had it a year. It's been, I don't know, maybe 6, 8 months, perhaps.
Yeah. But it's been like a quiet 6 months. It hadn't been like a 6 months where you felt like you've seen a whole lot from Swerve as far as representing the championship. I don't know. I could be wrong.
4 months. I'm sorry, 4 months.
Okay, maybe that's why.
April to August.
Maybe that's why. Because I was like, wait a minute, didn't seem like he'd done a whole lot with it or defended it that much for him to have lost it. That's why I said maybe I missed something, but maybe I didn't. My thing with Danielson, of course, you're going to have more eyes on the championship. Could they have done more with Swerve? Of course, I'm sure that's going to be the talk of the town more than anything. I'm sure that's going to be, the talk around the water cooler. Right, man, why didn't Swerve get more out of it? I'm sure that's going to be the run, the talk. But for me, Swerve got the run. So he got the title. He was the first guy. So for him, that talk is, in the rearview mirror as far as when should a black guy in AEW win the championship. That thought that's an afterthought now. Now he's working on number 2. We don't know how long Danielson is going to be in the business. I don't know if this is his swan song. We don't know if he's going to rally back and put Swerve back over. So it's a whole lot. I don't want to write the show or anything like that. So for me, I'm just going to say big ups to Danielson, and hopefully, everything will turn out right for him. Seems like he's in a great space though for me.
Yeah, I mean, to me, right call. I think just because you're right, we don't know how much longer we have with Bryan Danielson, and I think there's money in a Bryan Danielson world title run. And to me, Swerve, I think he got a legitimizer in that first run. Kind of like what you talked about a few weeks ago with Damian Priest. Damian Priest got the first one under his belt. Now he's kind of a made man in the world title main event scene. So
do you agree with me as far as people are going to be saying as far as why didn't Swerve have a better run?
I think that if that's not a conversation, I would be shocked. I think that definitely people are going to have that chat. I thought, honestly, they were kind of positioning it for me to think they're going to run him and Adam Page back again in the future. But here's the thing. AEW, Swerve Strickland's a young guy. He's got more years in front of him than a Bryan Danielson does. So,
I feel that way too.
Give it to Bryan, let him run. And you might absolutely be right. Can you imagine, let's just say All In next year? I don't know how long Bryan's going to hold it, but, returning the favor and, putting Swerve over.
I mean, like I say, this could actually make Swerve a lot bigger if the storyboard is right. I think that's what we got to think about more than anything. I didn't have a lot of long runs myself, and I'm sure that's what a lot of people are saying. Well, Book, you never had a long run, so let me get it out there. I never really had a long, world championship run myself. But I think the short runs benefited, my track record more than anything.
Well, how long did you run with the world title when you were the king? Do you remember how long that run was?
It's probably about, it was maybe 6 months.
6 months. I mean, it's not a short run.
It's not a short run, but it's not like one of these long, sustained runs like, 2-3 years, a year straight. Wasn't anything like, I've never had a year straight run with, the world title or anything like that. And did it bother me? I don't think so, because a lot of people think, being at the top is the greatest thing in the world. It truly is, but it's lonely at the top, and it's the hardest job in the business. So for me, when that moment came for me, I was ready for it. But when that moment came to let it go, I was ready for that too.
You were happy. You're like, oh, okay,
I'm serious.
I'll lay out for this one.
I'm dead serious, man. Beat me right in the middle. We got to take a break though. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Can you dig it, sucker?
All right, everyone, it's Booker T and Brad Gilmore here, and we've got something exciting for all you sports, comedy, music, and theater fans out there. We're talking about Game Time, the fastest, easiest way to get your hands on tickets to your favorite events.
That's right, Book. We love all those spontaneous, unforgettable moments, and Game Time is here to make them happen. Whether it's a last-minute decision to see a game or a sudden urge to catch a live show, Game Time has got you covered, giving fans access to tickets even at the last minute in over 60 cities across the United States and Canada.
Hey guys, this ain't about getting in. This is about getting the best seats in the house. With Game Time, you can see images of your seat before you buy it. So no surprises there, guys. You can score tickets swiftly. Skip the line, guys. Just dive straight into the moment.
Absolutely. And listen to this. Game Time guarantees the best prices. Find tickets in the same section in a row for less elsewhere. Game Time will give you a credit of 110% of the difference. So there's no reason to wait, bro.
So whether it's the thrill of the game, the laughter of the comedy, the rhythm of the music, or the drama of the theater, guys, don't let the opportunity skip by. Choose Game Time. Grab your tickets and just enjoy the moment.
Live should be spontaneous, Book. So guys, don't miss out. Check out Game Time now on their app or at gametime.co. That's gametime.co.
Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Just download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code BOOKER for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Lowest price. Guaranteed. Oh, yes. Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. You're with Booker T and Brad Gilmore. We got any more super chats?
We have a ton, but one more thing on All In I wanted to get your reaction about, or maybe a couple things, but definitely one. Ricochet is now all elite. We heard this rumor several months ago. He kind of did some business with Braun Breaker on his way out of WWE, and he made his debut in the Casino Gauntlet match at All In. And
How did he do it? Because I missed that.
I mean, are you saying did he win?
No. I'm just wondering, how did he do?
He was good. Yeah, he was good. He did not win, but he did.
Did he get a chance to get some of his signature stuff in, though, right?
I mean, he was Ricochet.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He was Ricochet. Yeah. What are you gonna do? But actually, your man Christian Cage ended up winning that Casino Gauntlet Battle Royal or Casino Gauntlet match. Excuse me. So shout out to Christian Cage. Always finds a way, man. He's very crafty.
AEW's had a history of bringing in guys and those guys not winning. I think Will Ospreay came in. He didn't win his first match, right?
I think you might be right about that. Yeah.
So I think it might just be one of those things where you got to bring in a guy, break him in, see where his head is, see if he's gonna play ball. And but I'm glad to see Ricochet have a soft landing. Kid could work, man. He's definitely an extraordinary talent. He's definitely a next level talent. I just feel like he fits a whole lot better in a AEW, like system, better than a WWE system. But he got a chance to do the WWE thing, and that's the one thing a lot of guys wonder about in the business that haven't gotten to do the WWE thing. That's the WrestleMania week and all that stuff. He's gotten a chance to experience that kind of stuff several times. So for him to actually move to the next level, it's not as hard at all, because now for him, it's all about getting paid, going out and having some good matches, and having hopefully a stellar career at the end of the day.
Well, some people could argue the match that made Ricochet famous was his match with Will Ospreay. And I think that obviously that's about to happen again in AEW. I think that was in New Japan the last time those two guys touched. So for Ricochet to do battle with Will Ospreay in AEW, it's gonna be great for those two guys to go out there and do that match that really, in a lot of ways, put them both on the map. So I'm happy for Ricochet too. I think that he kind of, in a lot of ways, hit his ceiling in the WWE. Like, anything could happen. And I'm not saying he couldn't have found himself back in a top position, but I'm just saying, I think that he thought this is the most I'm ever going to do here. They gave him a world title match, I remember, in Saudi with Brock. Brock beat him in like a couple minutes, right? I mean, but I think he had his WrestleMania moments. He got to meet his, I think, are they engaged or married? His mate, his partner in the WWE.
Yeah,
Samantha Irvin. And so, I mean, look, all you can do is look back at it like a great run, and he did business on the way out. He helped put
Oh,
Braun over.
no, I'll give him props, man. He definitely got it played ball. And the thing is, I don't necessarily I wouldn't say he hit his ceiling or anything like that. I feel like he could have stuck around and tried to really, really grind to see how much further he could have gone in WWE. But sometimes, man, it's not about that with most guys. With some guys, I know it wouldn't have been about that with me. As far as let me see if I got to just keep proving myself, or if there's a check over here, I can kind of like start shutting it down a little bit, kind of like ease back on the throttle just a little bit, because understandably, that WWE schedule is a monster, man.
Yeah.
It's not the easiest thing in the world, and you got to be fully committed in that game. You cannot be 1 foot in, 1 foot out, half glass full, half glass empty. It can't be like that. You got to be 100% all in, no pun intended. I think that's where it comes down to with a lot of the guys at the end of the day sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I see that. I see that. And when I say hit his ceiling, I think maybe he thought, look, this is the level I'm at right now. And maybe if I don't know, I think AEW is a better fit. It's just a better fit for him all around.
I think for Ricochet to be able to have some of the most outrageous matches that he possibly could have, that means going out there and just letting it all hang out. That means, asking the boss, you ask the boss, what do you want me to do tonight? And the boss say, hey, whatever you guys want to do. That's what he got now. So it's going to be unlimited amount of stuff you can see from Ricochet now that you couldn't see before.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? Shout out to Ricochet, though. Shout out to All In. You know what, Book? I will say this. And when we talk about AEW, sometimes people, and we've talked about it before, like it seems like to be always an emphasis on former WWE guys or former, established names. And I got to give AEW props in the Mariah May department. Mariah May is now their women's world champion. And she was somebody who came in who was, I think, in Stardom in New Japan, or excuse me, in Stardom in Japan. And they brought her in, no real television exposure on any major company stateside. And they established her. They built her slowly. They didn't rush her there. They put her in a story that people were interested in. And they put her over, in her home country, obviously, for the world title. And really, I feel like established a woman on that roster where when we talk about the AEW women's roster, sometimes we're like, oh, man, there's not a whole lot. It's not really top heavy.
Who she beat?
She beat Tony Storm. And
Okay.
this was Tony's build up with her run in this timeless era.
Oh,
really
yeah.
holding the title. They did it right. And, I give props where props are due. That was done well. It was done slowly, and it had a payoff that helped elevate Mariah May, and Tony Storm didn't look bad in her loss. She got beaten by a roll up. It was actually a beautiful finish. It's a beautiful finish. And I just want to give them that moment because it really worked. Really worked. Have you seen Mariah May? You knew who I'm referring to?
Yeah. She's blonde hair girl, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've seen her before. They've been pumping her up for quite some time, and I haven't seen her work or anything like that. But a lot of times when your name get there before you do, that means something. So I knew about Mariah May. She's all in the over social media, like the sites and stuff like that. They're always picking her stuff up. So I've heard about it. And one thing about the women's division, you got to know how to make the girls when you don't have a boatload of girls.
Yeah.
You got to know how to make everybody win. Even in their losses, you got to know how to feel like it's still a win for them. That's the only way you're going to be able to build the brand and build everybody to that level to where when somebody loses, it's not a surprise or anything like that. So, yeah, I think doing something like that, trying to build somebody like Mariah May up the right way. Like I said, I haven't seen a whole lot of her, but I've heard a lot about her. Maybe I need to check her out.
Absolutely. This comes from...
Give us some Roni, brother. Oh, yeah.
Kelly Tonio says, my favorite Sid moment is from Monday Night Raw, April the 3rd, 1995, when he tells HBK, you stupid little puke, you don't give me the night off, and then hits HBK with a nasty powerbomb. Sounds like Sid.
Sound like Sid, man. Because they said was a top guy to be doing something like that to HBK, right?
Yeah.
So that's a top guy for you, man. So nah, man. Big ups to the OG.
You stupid little puke. That sounds like some stuff. I gotta go watch that. Did you ever see the We're Live pal thing with Sid? Have you ever seen that moment?
I'm sure I have.
It's one of the great, I mean, it is a flub, it's a blooper, but it is one of the great bloopers in
Yeah.
wrestling history.
Yeah.
Just one of the, if we have time at the end of the show, I'd like to play because it's just so funny. Eddie Kane Maine says Gigi cheated the chosen one promise Braxton. Rest in peace, Sid. Yeah, man, the chosen one. Both, but by the way, Book, you don't talk about building women up. Promise Braxton and Gigi Ray, find me two better unsigned female wrestlers in the United States. You're not going to find them.
I really don't think so. I mean, Gigi Ray, she got a chance to, like I say, mix it up with Tatum Paxley just yesterday. And she showed me that she's at the next level. Her tour to Japan did her a lot of good, along with Promise Braxton. Promise is definitely next level. I'm going to be hearing a lot about both of these two young ladies in a very, very near future. If you haven't seen them, definitely go to Reality Wrestling / YouTube and do it now and check them out, because they truly are two of the finest wrestlers, male or female, in reality wrestling's whole locker room. Seriously, they're truly that good. And the thing is, we got so much good talent. So many guys and girls that could break out and go to that next level. But when you see these two, you go, wow, man, they really are, special talent. And I say that because I want everybody at Reality Wrestling to aspire to be in those spots. And the only way you make it to those spots, guys, is you got to put the work in. You got to put in the work in overtime. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, when you sleeping, somebody else, they putting in the work. They trying to steal your spot. And sometimes you'll let it me. It ain't never happening. You ain't getting my spot. You might fool me one time, but fool me again. You fool me twice, you ain't gonna fool me again. Stick around, you're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Booker T here, and I'm so excited to share something that really has been a game changer lately for me, man. That's Fire. That's right, Fire. Summer might be winding down, but football season is just around the corner. But you don't have to let those summer vibes fade away. Fire has got you covered with the best hemp and cannabis product legally shipped right to your door in all 50 states. As an athlete, recovery is key, and Fire Relief Line is a perfect post-gym relaxation and eases those aches and pains. For years, for me, inside the square circle, they get the organic flower. Is top-notch, baby. Grown without harsh pesticides or chemicals, plus their award-winning THC and THC-free gummies. Premium indoor THCA flower, oh yes, and the soothing topical and calming drops are all made from the highest quality hemp sourced from the trusted American Farms, man. Oh, yes. Hey, man, I've personally been using Vibe for a while now, and let me tell you, it has made a huge difference, whether it's the calming drops that help me unwind or the premium flower, man, that just hits the spot. Vibe has something for everyone. Trusted by professional athletes and loved by over 500,000 customers. It's a brand that you need to check out. So if you're 21 or over, go to the link in our description and use the code, man, Booker, to get 15% off your order. That's right, 15% off. And remember to tell them Booker T sent you when you check out. Hey, support the show. I'm talking about the Hall of Fame, man. And take your recovery and relaxation to the next level with Via. Check it out right now. Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. Super chats.
Yes, we have more of them. We have more super chats, and this one comes from Eddie Kane Maine, who said Sid loved him some softball. Yeah, that wasn't like his pastime. Like that's what he was off into.
That wasn't a pastime, bro. That was his full time.
That's his full time.
I remember being in if I'm not mistaken, Gainesville, Georgia. Sid Vicious was the main event. And he got mad about something. He left the arena, took his bag, and went to go play softball. Straight from the arena. Yeah, yeah. He was that serious about his softball, man. He was so deep into it, like he was a real, like a pro softball player. It's where he left his real job. I can't remember what Sid was mad about that day, but he was in the main event. And he just bolted, got his stuff, and he just left. And he went to go play softball that night. Wow. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. You know, I mean, hey, look, some people, they got their stuff. You know what I mean? They got their stuff. And Sid's was softball.
Big
You know what
time.
I mean? But he would do it after the match. Is what you're saying?
No,
like he would work the show.
Sometimes he wouldn't even. Sometimes, like I say, he would skip a show and not even come to the show to go play baseball, softball. I swear to God, I'm not joking, man. He shows to go do that stuff. Yeah.
So that was his full time, like you said. He loved.
That was his passion.
But like you would see him. Let me ask. But would he sometimes come from the field? Like he had just played and he made it to the show to like it is still in his gear.
No, it wasn't like that.
No, no, he was going there.
It was 1 or 2.
It was like, you hear those stories of what's his name? Michael Jordan. You hear the stories of Michael Jordan, and like I just saw one of Charles Barkley saying they were on the US team and they were playing Puerto Rico, and Chuck, Michael, and the coach went and played 18 holes of golf, right? And this is earlier in the day before they go play Puerto Rico. They finished the 18, and Charles like, all right, hey, Mike, we got to go get ready for this game. And they're with the coach. And Michael goes, nah, man, we're going to do another 18, right? So they play 36 holes of golf before the game, mind you, out in the sun, in the elements. And then they go to the game. And they're giving the coach is giving the assignments like, hey, you're going to be on this guy. You're going to be on this guy. You're going to be on this guy. Michael, you'll take the shooting guard. You'll take the 2. Michael goes, no, I want the point guard. And he's like, why? I saw this guy. He was talking trash in the papers. I want to guard him all game. And then Chuck said that Michael stayed on this guy all game long and did nothing but talk crap to him. And he would foul him, shove him down, be like, talk now. And he was like, man, Michael's crazy.
He's a better man than I am. Yeah. I played 18 holes of golf once on a house show, and then I played another 18. And I had to wrestle the Undertaker that same night. And I was so blown up. I was so beat up. But I got to that match that night.
What were you thinking?
You ridiculed me so bad, like crazy, man. It was nuts, yeah.
Well, rightfully so. What the hell were you thinking?
I had the bug, man. When you get the bug in golf, man, you see all the gadgets that I've got.
Oh, yeah, of course.
The house and stuff. I had the bug at that point, and sometimes, man, I would have to go play golf, before the show. I had to find a golf course to go hit balls. It was nuts for a while. Yeah.
Well, you know what? And Taker made you pay for it, I'm sure.
Oh, he made me pay for it big time, man. Yeah, big time.
Well, shout out to Booker and his golfing and Sid and his softball. We go to Cali Toenail, who says, Mayweather did what he always does, show up and show out. But in my day, I've never seen the ref replaced. That was LeBron James out there complaining. Yeah, he had the gaudy exhibition.
Come on. That fight that was a one-sided fight, man. That was a mismatch in every sense of the word. And then Floyd, that was easy money. That was easy work, like Floyd says. I mean, he didn't lose a round or anything like that. He really didn't even get touched or anything like that. But I don't know, man. People talk about it. Does this diminish Floyd Mayweather's career? I don't think it diminishes, but it doesn't add anything to Floyd's career, from my perspective. I could be wrong.
It will be a chapter in his story. And if you look at Floyd from the Mayweather fight on, right? Because I believe his last fight against a boxer in his professional career was Andre Berto, right? And then he fought Conor for the 50th win. from the Conor fight on, that told Floyd something. That Conor fight told Floyd, oh, wait a minute. I can still make a lot of money, guarantee myself a victory, and not have to work as hard as I would against other guys. And that's what's happened since. Since that fight, he has just fought guys for the money in these little exhibitions. So, look, do I think it takes away from his legacy? Absolutely not. He's one of the greatest boxers to ever live. Is it a chapter in the story when we discuss him? The more that he continues to do it, the more that it's going to be talked about as a part of his legacy. Will it be remembered? I don't know. It's like Hakeem on the Raptors.
I don't think
we don't really remember it.
I don't think it's going to be remembered because I don't remember really any of the fights. I remember the fights, like the Korean kid. Who else he fought?
That's really the only one I remember. But I know he's had more than that. Natsukawa, wasn't that his name?
Natsukawa, then the guy.
Three Gottis.
So
Logan Paul. He fought Logan Paul.
Logan Paul, yeah, exactly. But there again, it's so hard to remember those fights because there wasn't like real fights. It wasn't like fights that we were like clamming to get to or anything like that. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I say, I don't think it's going to hurt his career or anything like that. I can't say it's not helping his career because he's making good money off of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for Floyd, I think it's a win-win situation. And the thing is, I put myself in that position and I go, man, would I do it? I probably would do it. Probably would do the same thing, especially if I'm the best boxer in the world. And I know, my technique alone could go out and beat guys that, just trying to get off in this game, without even thinking about it. So yeah, man, I mean, make that money, get it as long as you possibly can.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. This next one comes from Virgil Dawkins.
Super chat.
Can you bring clarity on why stages and logos changed at the end of WCW? I've heard it was more a creative decision, not financially, but I remember eventually Nitro wasn't even in arenas anymore. The logo change at the end of WCW, that was a pretty bad logo.
To the star?
Yeah, it was like a star. Yeah.
It was a big star, yeah. I really don't know. I think they were just trying to mix it up. I think they were trying to get away from that old WCW look.
Ooh, WCW.
No, I think that's what it was more than anything. And whose idea it was, I'm not sure whose idea it was, but I think sometimes you got to shake it up. Sometimes you got to mix things up. I say that because one point in time we were, the Pro Wrestling Alliance. And then I woke up one day and I go, man, we got to change the name. We got to change everything. And Charmel wanted to kill me because everything was, labeled, the turnbuckles, the skirts, everything. We got to sell everything. And I go, we got to become reality wrestling. I saw it in my dream. We got to change everything to reality wrestling. She was like, oh my God, But I think it was the best thing that we ever did for reality wrestling. Change the name.
Yeah, sometimes a rebrand obviously is great. And for WCW at the time, I understand wanting to try something different creatively. The logo just wasn't great to me. I didn't like how the logo looked. And then it's funny this question came up just yesterday. I showed this to Kevin Bernhardt, our director. There were sketches done of new WCW championships, but they never got made because the company ended up getting purchased by Vince. But this was going to be the WCW Heavyweight Championship. What do you think of that? Because I kind of hate it, to be honest with you.
Well, it looked like one of those store-bought championships,
like generic as hell.
Yeah. But I didn't mind the logo. I do remember the new logo, and I was on like a Mountain Dew can back in the day, so I thought the logo was cool. You know what I mean? Because I had my own can of soda. It was really cool. Yeah. That's when they were doing it, trying to do a little bit more marketing. I would say.
I don't know why. It maybe somebody in the chat can tell me, but I know amongst wrestling fans, we call that the WCW cat logo. And I don't know why we refer to it as the cat logo, because it doesn't really look like a cat to me, but that's what we all call it online. And I don't know where that came from. Maybe somebody can tell me.
It's the first time I heard that.
Yeah. Everyone calls it a cat logo. But speaking of WCW, we have another one from Alex Cosentino. Oh, we have to go to a break, though. We'll do that one after the break. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Stick around, guys. You are checking out the Hall of Fame right now. We appreciate you guys super chatting as well. Stick around. We'll be back in a minute.
Hey there, beach babes and beach bros. Are you ready to soak up the summer vibes and strut out with your ultimate beach bod? Well, good news, because our friends over at Manscaped have got you covered from head to toe.
Oh yeah, Brad, we're talking about the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra, the all-in-one grooming kit that's a total game changer for your summer look, man. With Manscaped, you're not just grooming, you're unlocking confidence you need to turn heads this beach season. Oh yes.
That's right, Booker. And we're talking 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. And because you're listening to us, you get a special deal. 20% off plus free shipping with the code Booker at manscaped.com. Let's make this summer your smoothest one yet.
Man, let me tell you about the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. This bad boy got a summer makeover. It's waterproof, perfect for those splashy pool parties and beach hangouts. And don't get me started with the Weed Whacker 2.0 for those pesky nose and ear hairs.
Oh, and after you trim, you've got to try the Crop Soother Ball Aftershave Lotion. Say goodbye to chafing and hello to comfort all day long. Plus, the Crop Preserver Anti-Chafing Ball Deodorant, absolute must-have for those hot, sunny days.
Hey, and don't forget, every purchase come with a little extra free Boxers 2.0 Midnight Bravo. Talk about comfort and style that fits like a dream. You're gonna love it, I guarantee.
So what are you waiting for? Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code Booker at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code Booker.
Yeah, the summer sun is here to stay, so trust Manscaped and keep you looking and feeling cool.
Jump on this deal, y'all, and stay groomed this summer with Manscaped. Your beach bod deserves the best.
Boom! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. About to wrap this thing up. I know we got a few more super chatters we got to get to, so keep it rolling, man. Keep it rolling.
All right, let me bring up the next one that we were just about to go to, which was Alex Cosentino. We were talking about WCW. Alex Cosentino says, Bruce Pritchard said you ended up with a WCW ring. Is that true?
I didn't end up with the WCW ring. I ended up with Paul Bosch's ring, which I wear right there on my hand. Paul Bosch is the guy who was the pretty much the guy who ran professional wrestling here back in the 70s and 80s, Houston wrestling. I had never met Paul Bosch, but he was a mentor at the same time. He was the guy that I looked up to because he did so much for the city of Houston, so many young people in the city of Houston. I always wanted to be like Paul Bosch, and now I am like Paul Bosch. I run my own wrestling company. I have my own wrestling school. We're on CW39, the same channel that he was on back in the day, working with Mattress Mac. We just did something with Mac, so it seems like a full circle. But now this is the ring I think Bruce Pritchard was talking about, the ring of Paul Bosch.
You didn't have like a WCW wrestling ring that they gave you or anything like that? Okay.
No. Bruce wouldn't have known about that. Bruce wouldn't have known about WCW anyway. He wasn't there.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Yeah, so I think he's talking about this ring. Yeah.
Alex Cosentino says, when you made your WWF debut, did they hide you somewhere until the last seconds, or were you backstage all day, or was it a surprise to all the boys?
No, I think it was a surprise. They hid me out. I don't know how many people knew about it, but they hid me. I wasn't like in the locker room with the boys or anything that day. They brought me straight from, I don't know, the hotel room to a van to like a bus or something like that. Yeah, it was all secretive. I think that's one of the first times I've ever done one of these secretive angles, you know what I mean, where they had to hide me or something like that too. So yeah.
And did they hide you for the Rumble when you came back in 2011, 2012, 2011?
No, they didn't hide me for that.
So you were backstage and saw all the boys before.
Yeah, I got ready just like all the boys. You know, it felt real good to be back in the locker room. You know, putting the boots on and whatnot, getting ready to go out there and get it done. Yeah, it's an awesome night.
Can you recall? And we have a couple more super chats, but when you went back that night, who was the first person you remember seeing walking back into WWE?
I don't know, man. That's a hard question.
I mean, do you remember seeing Triple H or Vince or Steph or any of the office people?
I'm sure. You know, it was was greetings. Especially with Stephanie, we were always, had a great love for each other, great respect for each other, and we always, I don't know, some kind of camaraderie we've always had. But nah, man, I was greeted back, by, I think the first person I saw was like somebody on the staff, like one of the camera guys or something like that. And that's when you're back at home, when you get that look right there, So no, probably Stu. Me and Stu probably ran up on each other, big hugs and whatnot. But no, man, it was a moment because me and Kevin Nash went back at the same time too. So that's what was really cool about making that return.
And it was cool at that time. I'd fallen out for a second of wrestling. It was like maybe a 2-year gap where I didn't watch anything, maybe 3-year gap. But I remember that was also the early days of Twitter. And I remember getting on Twitter and someone goes, Booker T and Diesel are back. And I'm like, what did I miss? what show have I not been watching? What? Booker and Diesel? What happened?
Yeah. I remember Kev calling me. He goes, "Hey, Booker, what you gonna do, bro?" I said, "Man, I'm going back. I'm being a Rumble." Me too, bro. That's when we were negotiating our TNA contracts if they were going to keep us around, and they was jacking me around. And I was like, "Man, I can't stick around here for too much longer. Let me get up out of here right now while I got a chance." And Kev said, I'm with you, bro. We both took off the same night and showed up in the Rumble at the same time, man. That's why I always say, man, that's my big homie, man. Big Kev, man. That's truly my big homie.
Oh man, Kevin Nash is great. We still have never had Nash in the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? We got to get him inside.
We'll get him.
Would love to talk to him because what a when you listen to Kevin Nash, and I listen to his show, which is also on our podcast, Heat Network. Click this. Such a mind, not just for wrestling, either. Like he is a very astute, well-read, very intelligent guy. Super intelligent.
Oh yeah, laid back.
Laid back as all hell, but very intelligent.
Yeah. That's my dog, man. Yeah, that's truly my dog, Big Kevin.
Shout out to Big Kevin Nash, man, big sexy. Here we go. Here's our last couple ones for the day. Virgil Dawkins says, up until yesterday, I had no clue there was more than one women's AEW champion. I thought it was just Mercedes. Is the TBS title like the X division? Well, I think the TBS championship's their secondary title. It's not the world champion. It's the like the IC belt.
Like the North American Championship.
Like the North American Championship.
Yeah, and I think that's appropriate to have two belts for the women because if you got a big enough roster, you're going to need more than just one belt floating around for these ladies to actually feel like they're working for something more than anything. Yeah.
Because right now on the main roster, you have, I guess, a total of technically 6 championships that men can compete for. And you have half of as many for the women. You just have the 2 women's titles and then the tag team titles. I'm talking about the main roster.
Yeah.
So definitely, I would love to see that. And we've been championing that for several weeks now, months. That we want, maybe another secondary title for the women. Up top, Brooklyn Bryan says, "When will Joe Hendry appear in the Reality of Wrestling? I believe."
I'm working on it, man. I'm working on it. He definitely is gonna make an appearance. It just gotta. Hendry's busy, man. This guy's stock since I became the president of his fan club. I mean, it's been booked every damn where. You know what I mean? So I got to figure out when we're gonna get him in, but we're definitely gonna get Joe Hendry into Reality of Wrestling. So I think he'll sell the place out, man. And we have to, the fire marshal have to shut it down if Joe Hendry come to Reality Wrestling. So be on the lookout. We got a show coming up on the 14th, Gold Rush. And I think Gold Rush is a show that will be fitting for someone like Joe Hendry to appear. So let's see if we can make it happen. How about that?
Say his name.
Say his name. Yeah.
Ethan Cross says, "I love you, Booker."
Hey, man, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I'm sorry, guys. I've been in like a somber mood today because, like I said, we lost Sid Vicious, a guy who really did so much for my brother and I, helping us get in this business, giving us a springboard from the beginning and to wake up and get that news was like a gut punch. It was one of those moments where I just wanted to just literally just lay down in the freaking bed all day long, drinking lemonade and doing nothing. That's the way I've been feeling. I'm serious, man. So I'm so I got, you know what, that's what those old guys got to drink these days, lemonade. You know what I mean? But nah, man, I want to thank you guys for keeping me up and keeping me going. You guys are the reason why I keep moving every day, because to be able to entertain you guys, to have you guys come inside the Hall of Fame, get your champagne wishes, caviar dreams, shucky ducky quack quacks, no bread, no water, just meat, all that. We appreciate you guys and we love you.
You know, going back to, and those are all our super chats, but going back to you going to WWE in 2000, was it 2011? It was 2011, right? When you went back?
Yeah.
2011. When you went back in 2011, think about, like, say TNA made a really, really good offer. Good money, less days.
Yeah.
There's a part of you that would have entertained that, right? I'm sure.
Oh, yes.
But if you did not come back to the WWE when you did, think about all the stuff that may have probably never happened. Who knows? Who knows, not just in your career, but the other careers that you touch. I mean, who knows where Cody would be now if he didn't have that kind of legitimizer run there. If you didn't come back, we would have never heard Shucky Ducky Quack Quack, no bread, no water, just meat. Your NXT commentary run, you probably would have never been a broadcaster.
Hey, man.
Maybe the radio show never happens. It's
You know
really
what?
interesting.
You know what? I knew my time was up. I knew
Yeah.
my 2 years in TNA was, I knew that was it. I knew that's all I was going to be. And the thing was, it wasn't that I didn't like it or anything. I love being off. Like you say, if they would have made me a better offer, I tell you what, if they would have made me a better offer, I probably would have stayed there another year. Seriously. If they would have came to me with a better offer, I probably would have stuck around, and no telling where my career would have gone. Seriously, if I would have stuck around for that year. But they made me an offer that I couldn't refuse. I said, man, let me get the hell up out of here. These fools done lost their damn minds. That's what I said. But I thank TNA for everything they did for me. I had a great time. Dixie card and everything. But we got to get up out of here, man. We got to get out of here. Thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame. Get your champagne wishes, caviar dreams, man. Brad, for all the heavy lifting. And as always, guys, peace. We love you. We out.